most of the successful people say success is not a destination, it's a journey. So we need to carry forward this, and we need to ensure that from here we actually reach a greater heights in near future. So it doesn't come easy. It requires a lot of planning, correct? So this quote is something which I want to set it forward with you. Vision sets your direction. So first of all, you should have a clear vision about where you have to reach. Doesn't matter where you are today, but which direction are you headed to? So with the blessings of your parents and the teachers, you would have reached a lot of levels when it comes to the education. You have learned so many things, but don't mind, or don't forget that the entire world is waiting for you, and world is an opportunity, and it is not going to be limited with our home country or to UAE. So how do you look at it, and how can you reach that particular destination which is waiting for you? So always have this question asked: what do you want to become in the future? Now, and that has to be very clear. There is no, specific points which says that I have to be an engineer, or I have to be a doctor, or I have to be a, artist. Everything should come within you. There is a great saying, right? An egg, when it is broken through an external force, a life ends there. But at the same time, if that egg is broken from an internal force, the life begins there. The question is, can you find that and break and can you hatch out? So there is a big difference between traditional and modern education. Now, Dr. Tharoor actually put some insights into it, and more than Mr. Tharoor, maybe our MLA, really went forward in explaining how artificial intelligence or robotics or these things are going to come on our way. So now the future will be completely based on those aspects. Now we are currently in a situation of Industry 4.0. So each time when the industry changed from Industry 1 to Industry 2 to Industry 3, there had been a lot of changes in education. So many people who did conventional education, and went into the paradigm, they couldn't reach the top level. They had to settle, get satisfied with what they have, and they had to adjust their entire life based on income which came on their way. So only two types of the people are there in the world. One who want to compromise everything and try to fit their dreams inside the income that they have. Although the others who actually try to adjust and create a world and live their dreams. The choice is definitely yours. But please understand what is waiting for you. Industry 4.0 is actually going to bring a lot of changes. And being a student, it is your responsibility to see what is going to come and then try to prepare for the same. Tomorrow is going to be a drastic technological change. Along with your conventional education program, you have to learn about drones. You might have to learn about the blockchain. You might want to do a deep dive into big data, augmented reality, 3D printing, virtual reality, artificial intelligence, robotics, Internet of Things, and genetics. So without this, if you try to complete an education, future cannot be promised or employment cannot be promised. So it is our responsibility to ensure that you know about it much before the university or the education system try to tell you this. So along with your interest in reading your favorite subject or listening to that music or trying to spend time in the social media, I invite you to read and to do a little bit of research around these things and the impact for these things on the today's world. MBBS, is one of the favorite subjects. We want all of us want to become a doctor or an engineer. But can the existing MBBS system or engineering courses assure you to get a job? Dr. Tharoor highlighted that around 40% of the job is going to be lost in another 10 years' time. Now, the real study says that it is going to be much beyond that. A person who has not been educated in this 10 essential technologies will be called outdated. A day used to be there when, in my young age, I used to be in a bank taken a token and wait for my turn to do the financial transaction. But today, the banking system has completely changed. You are in Dubai or in Sharjah, you know that many banks, maybe it would have been months that we would not have gone to the banks at all. So how much percentage of job would have been lost in the banking industry alone? It's the same thing happening in most of the industry. So are we ready to embrace this tomorrow? How far are we reading? How far are we learning? This is very important for tomorrow. So where do we start? And what should be the next step in knowing where I have to reach? So this you have to keep in your mind and then think about tomorrow, the universities. Around 35,000 leading universities are there in the world. But which university is going to promise you that dream job of yours? My recommendation is that at least you should be part of the top 1,000 universities in the world. See, we are so proud of our home country. Now, when we go back and see about IIM or IIT, do you know that they are actually in 559 or 600th ranking in the world? Now, if we are not part of the leading universities, what is going to happen? The campus selections are actually limited by the huge organizations like Fortune 100 or Fortune 500 companies with the selected universities. We are not getting an exposure to work with Google or to work with Apple or to work with the leading, companies in the world. But those who actually chose to study and come out of those leading universities are sitting at the top. And most of them are from our country. We should be proud of that. Look at Sundar Pichai. Look at any leading, CEOs in the world. How do you think that these people have reached there? So they selected, or their choice of the university was, to get that particular job in place. The best thing is we have so much of opportunity here in UAE. Do you know that the leading universities are giving the best of the best scholarships to you? But the idea is, how do you actually go and take those advantages of the scholarship? Now, for that, you need to identify why I should be studying from these leading universities. Is there a real reason for that? I have so many colleges around. I have so many universities in UAE. Or I have so many universities in India. The major thing is the advantage and the exposure that you get. I'm going to give you a small journey towards the leading university. All of you know about it. It's called Harvard. So this is their, one look of Harvard infrastructure. Once you are in, you're getting the best facilities in the world. You are getting mingling, with the best minds in the world. People from different genres are going to come there. And then you pass out from it and start your career with the highest or the best salaries in the world. Now, the same university actually gives you a huge scholarship. With around $37,000, you can complete your Harvard education. Now, that's not costly. It is actually less expensive than maybe a few of the major universities here in UAE. Now, how is that possible? What should be the next thing that you should be doing as a kid to ensure that you are going to get that admission in that leading university? So we just heard from, Dr. Tharoor. Do you think that he will be in that particular position if his education was also being compromised on? No. So all the successful people in the world at the top tier are there. It is not just because of hard work alone. It is because of that smart decision and the support of the parent, which led them and they got that admissions in those leading universities, continued the higher education. They were not ready to compromise. They also had the opportunity, like the new education system does. It allows you to stop the education in between, go and do the job. But these people never did that. For them, education was the core. They were ready to do the hard work. And their parents took the pain because of the hard work that these people were doing it. So now the most important message for this particular day from my end would be how you can get those scholarships and what is the leading university is looking for from you as a student. The standard tests are there. So you have to be very keen in improving. Like the top, students who actually got awarded today, you should also, have that hunger to learn more and try to reach the top. Prepare your own essays, and some articles. Now today, like one of our, our Indian Association president said, you're spending so much time on your mobile and your laptop. So why can't we be creative in that? Spend time in creating a blog of our own study. Maybe do a small study on drones that is going to come into UAE, or that drone taxi, which is going to be launched in another couple of months, or that hyperloop, and create an article of your own. Do an interview, meet a CEO or a doctor, and ask the questions and put it into a paper, or it can be even a video vlog. Because these things universities are going to look today. Your social media will be scanned. Your Facebook will be scanned. Your Instagram account will be scanned. Your activity, your footprints in the internet world will be scanned by a university before they're going to give you an admission. So these things also come into it. High school grades are important, but at the same time, a reference letter also can give you a lot of mileage when it comes to the leading university. You want to become a doctor, maybe a cardiologist. You should talk to your parent, tell that I want to do a shadow of a doctor for a day. So the parent will take you to the hospital, talk to the doctor and say that my son is showing a lot of interest in becoming a doctor. Doctor, can he spend one day with you? It's called professional shadow. Morning, at the same time when the doctor arrives at the hospital, you also should be there. Spend the whole day, learn what he is doing, and towards the end of the day, take a reference letter from the doctor. The student is showing so much interest. He was with me for a day, and I give a professional recommendation to give him an admission in your university. Do you know how much important that letter is? That can be one footstep near to your scholarship also. Then create a profile. It's a CV of your own as a student. What are your accomplishments other than the grades alone? Did you write an article? Is there any favorite subject of yours? What is the study that you have taken? How many professional interviews that you would have done on that subject in which you want to specialize? Because you're going to go to the higher education now. These should be there in the profile. Community service is another biggest important thing that any university is looking for now. There are so many autistic centers, or special needed people are there in few centers. Can you do a social service? Can you go there and do a voluntary program? They give you a voluntary certificate. Every university looks into that also. So if you have a B in one grade and all others are A, this B can, that weightage can be changed with a community service letter. Then the internships. Where do you want to do an intern? That will give a lot of mileage. So along with your graduation, the grades, you need to do few other things. Extracurricular activities are also something which every university is ready to give an additional point. Like maybe you have the best of the best professional coaches here, like La Liga Football Academy is here. Now, or you can be a keyboard artist, or you can be a guitarist, you can be a violinist. And that Trinity certificate is going to give you value, when it comes to the scholarship or the admission to the best university in the world. So our company, which I am representing, which is Alliance Insurance, always took, one step ahead, an extra responsibility for being this corporate social responsibility of going and publishing such informations. So we do professional counselings and guide the parents to come and talk about these things which I spoke today. And we have educational counselors for that. And then we also help the parent to create a piggy bank approach in creating the money for the higher education which is required. So it takes minimum of 5 years time. We do a systematic savings, which is into guaranteed platforms, and create the money which is required to approach this university. So the 50% might be of scholarship and the balance has to be created by us. So today I'm most happy. Those students who have, won the awards from Priyadarshini, in case if the parents want to have this career guidance to be done from us. Generally, this is something which we extend to our customers or the people who have already invested with us for free of cost. We will be doing this and trying to, support the parent in designing a future plan so that the person can do. And we will also sit with the student and give a guidance, say, based on their interests. So we have an aptitude test where we will ask a question to the student and give a guidance to them. And for any other students or parents who want to avail the same, we have specialized people involved in it. We are so the last message from my end would be, if you can imagine it, you can achieve it. If you can dream it, you can become it. So being a student, you should be having your own visions designed from your end, and your parents will have that dream, of seeing you as the most successful person in the world, and they're going to support you. And people like us, will be there to give you the right kind of mentorship and the guidance to approach the future. Now, for the parents, my recommendation is that kindly take the future higher education cost, very seriously. Now, many a times I've seen that, parents fail to plan, and, no one plans to fail in creating the kind of money that is required. An MBA in UAE today requires around 100,000 dirham. Now, an engineering requires around 300,000 dirham. An MBBS is not less than $1 million. So over 1 year or 2 years, we cannot create this fund. We know the kind of expenses that we are going through, and situations like COVID are going to make an economic dent. So you have your children's, please have, a systematic savings wherever it is possible. It's not necessary it has to be insurance or into mutual funds. It has to be only in a guaranteed platform, that's all. You can do it in national bonds. Keep aside 1,000 dirham or 500 dirham, which will accumulate, and create that fund, which will give you an easy path for the higher education of your children. An MBBS in UK or US is going to be around $200,000 to $300,000. And engineering is going to be around $100,000. A financial, education like MBA, is going to be around $80,000 or $90,000. And the amount related to the same, even in UAE. So it is better that we know this and try to plan ahead, because we all have 2 or 3 kids at our home, and it's not bring a financial burden to us. So think it properly and take it forward from here. We support all our existing clients and the prospects in doing that, and helping you in creating that kind of a fund which is waiting for you. It is sure that you need this amount in another couple of years' time. So why not we plan it and get it done for us? We have been, in this industry from past 45 to 46 years. And successfully we did, the same kind of planning for many people. They succeeded, when after their schooling for the higher education, the funds were there and it was used. They got their job, came back and continued with us. So it is almost the 3rd generation of, such family that we are handling, which is related to the education. We would be more than happy to do it. The kids, they did their part. They did homework. They studied well, succeeded and reached this platform. Now the time for parents to do their homework, to ensure that these kids are being sent to the best university in the world. Please understand the importance of having an education from the leading university. Anything less than, or any university which is not at least in the 1,000 universities in the world is not going to make your son or your daughter at the topmost in the career platform. But the possibility is there. So with that note, I will end my words. You can get more details about us through all the social platforms. And we have people like one of your friend, Mr. CP, who is associated with us as a senior business associate. We have more than 100 professionals like this who is working with us. They will be more than happy in guiding you and ensure that we arrange these meetings with the professionals who can guide you and create a platform where the future can be designed. With that note, I would like to thank you, and special thanks for the